Guys, it's Michael here. I'm here at the building site to give you a building update, and it's not a good one. We had a lot of snow, and so that is kind of putting this on pause. So concrete guy's excavator is still sitting here, and I don't know how long it'll sit because I don't know. This weather just makes it tough to get concrete done this time of year. We got 13 inches of snow, and it did insulate the ground to where the frost really didn't set in, but we just kind of don't know what the weather's going to do going forward. I mean, it could warm up. It looks like it's going to warm up next week. It could melt a lot of this stuff off, but then if it gets cold again after that, after the snow melts off, then it's going to set in the frost, and then we won't be able to dig drains in this facility. So anyway, it is what it is. I'm not going to get too upset about it because I can't do anything about it. I just kind of hope for the best, and maybe we can get a stretch of weather where we can do some digging and then pour some concrete if it gets just warm enough. But it's kind of this time of year, that's why this concrete stuff doesn't work very good in the winter time, because weather's very difficult. So anyway, I'll show you guys some clips of us running the cows through here, and I also took some clips of our beef herd. We do have a small beef herd that we manage, and I'll show you some stuff off that. So we're bringing the cows in to the barn here because it's gotten pretty darn muddy going around, and with the weather coming up, it's going to get really cold next week, so we're not going to get this concrete poured before then, because now we're on to the plumbing, and plumber might be able to get out here in the next few days to get some stuff done, but it's not looking real great. So we decided to just go ahead and run these cows straight across here, and then that way we ain't got to run them through the mud anymore. So we took down all of our neighbor's panels because he's needing them back, so we're going to get him his panels back. And can't really see it on the other side of that wall, those post anchors. You might be able to see it. Yep, there's a couple of pieces of poly wire I put up there, and that's a good 2 foot of concrete wall there. So I'm just really hoping that nobody gets too brave to go across that. So hopefully it'll work out. And there it kind of ramps down into the existing alley there, so hopefully somebody walks down it. Come on, girls. Don't know what to think. Buggy's trying to push her. You go first. Come on, girls. Yeah, it wasn't so bad. That's going to work a heck of a lot better than walking around that mud. It's, you can see their legs aren't very muddy, but it was getting on their feet pretty good there, up past their dew claws, and it's not great. We've been kind of dealing with it just because it is what it is. Walking them around, is kind of a temporary pain thing, and it honestly hadn't been too bad so far. The weather had been all right, but here this last week it's gotten pretty wet and whatnot. So, but if anybody wants to know why we don't graze our cows year round, that's a good example of why. We have really black soil on this farm, which is a blessing and a curse. It's really nice. It raises good crops and good grass and hay that away, but it does get very muddy and there's no bottom to it. So we used to do a lot of grazing on this farm, and we had a lot of problems with keeping the cows clean year round, because you get into a month where it just rains all month long and doesn't stop. You're just dealing with the mud non-stop, and with dairy cows, you got to keep them clean, keep their udders clean. It's a little different than with a beef farm. A beef farm, you can move cows, and with beef cows, you're not dealing with mastitis near like you are with a cow who gets milked every day, twice a day. So it's just a lot easier to control things, having the cows in a cow housing. We still do some grazing with these cows, but not near like we used to. And they don't do it all that often, just whenever the opportunity presents itself. So anyway, I better go up here and make sure these cows keep moving. So I'm leading the beef herd off of the corn stalks that are on the backside of Grandpa's here. There's 80 acres back there that we are on, and trying to lead them up here in front of the house where I just fenced off yesterday. See if we can get them to follow me. Skip! Come on. Come on, girls. There's just 7 acres up here in front of the house here that I fenced in, because might as well graze it, I suppose, for a few days here. Save a little bit of hay. This is kind of what we had growing up in front of on the backside of Grandpa's that I've been grazing for the last month and a half. Cereal rye and rapeseed or canola. And the canola doesn't look too good anymore. The quality's not as good anymore, but it was good back in November when we turned up almost 80 acres. I better run back there and see if I can't get them. Alrighty guys, I'm back on these 80 acres and I'm looking at things and just kind of want to show you what I'm looking at. So I got the cereal rye here. You can kind of see it's not nearly as tall as the stuff up front. It's been grazed down pretty good back here. So I think it's about the right height for us to pull them off. I think we got all the grazing off of here we wanted to. We could leave them back here longer, but I think they would probably start to kill out some of this cereal rye where it wouldn't come back in the spring. And now we have enough regrowth. I think it should be fine. As far as the corn stalks go that are back here, they're not all that great a quality anymore. We've had enough rain and snow and whatnot. The quality of the stalks for grazing them isn't as good. And I think they pretty well picked through all the corn that the combine missed. So I think we kind of got it to where we want it. But I'm pretty happy with it. We got 6 weeks of feed off of here, and that's 6 weeks of not having to feed hay that I don't have to do. I did have to do a lot of fencing last winter to get these 80 acres back here kind of ready. I probably spent a couple weeks fixing up fence, replacing fence, doing stuff like that. But here, the next time we have corn back here, I shouldn't have to do nearly as much fencing, and hopefully just have to patch up a little bit to do it. But otherwise, I just had to run a hot wire across up there by the grain bins and the farmstead up there, run a hot wire right across there, and then I have fence all the way around here that I was able to just turn them out here, and it worked real nice. So guys, we're back here. It's been about a week since we took those cows off the corn stalks and the cover crop, and we are feeding hay today because we have got quite a bit of snow. So you can see the beef cows down there. I just rolled out a bale of hay down below on that hillside there. That's where we have some a little spot that's kind of poor, so I wanted to roll some hay out on that anyway. Rolled it out down there. You can kind of see a couple of spots still showing where I unrolled some hay the other day, but we had 8 inches of snow earlier this week on Sunday night. Today's Friday. We had 5 more inches overnight. That kind of covered up a lot of the hay that I unrolled earlier this week, so that's why I went and unrolled another bale. But yeah, unlike the last clip I had there, we are done grazing. Saturday before the snow came, I got them off of there and rolled up all the fence and everything because I knew this weather was coming. So now we're on to feeding hay for the rest of the winter. So we've been dealing with a lot of the typical wintry stuff that you deal with on a farm, making sure everything runs smoothly. Kind of during the winter when you have some of this weather, you kind of start to just try to go in survival mode some days where you're just trying to get stuff done and put out fires. And I mean, if you're, whether it's pushing snow or thawing out water troughs that froze or something, I mean, every farmer has to kind of deal with it, and it's just how it goes, I guess. But it's part of the winter weather that you deal with when you're doing the farming thing. So anyways, I'm gonna put out this other bale of hay and get back over to the farm to unload a guy who's bringing some feeds. So anyway, hope you guys have a good day. We'll see you later.